Okay, we are back with lines 96 down to 112. 112 right there. And let's read. Hi sumin fluctu pendent. His unda de hiskens terim ter fluctus aperet. Furit aestus arenis. We got subject, these guys. This is from hic, hawk. Okay, but it's masculine plural here. For the he Trojani, for these Trojans. Okay, hic is the dictionary entry. Hic singular, he plural. Hic vir, he, or hic Trojanus, he Trojani. These Trojans, pendent, hang, in sumo fluctu, that's ablative, on the highest wave. His unda de hiskens terinter fluctus aperet. A wave, a gaping wave, de hiskens unda, aperet opens the land. Accusative, that's what it opens. Opens up the land, inter fluctus, between the waves, or among the waves. For these other guys, this is also the same word as he, but this means these guys up here on the top of the wave, and then for these guys over somewhere else, for these guys, this is a dative, so I'm going to use my beige there, go beige, go dative. For these guys, we're putting in the word for, okay, for these guys, a wave, a gaping wave opens up the land between the waves. So this is really hyperbolic, right? Because we are supposed to believe that the waves were so big that you could actually see the sand underneath at the bottom of the sea. Whoa. Pretty amazing. Or pretty hyperbolic. I would wager that. Furit aestus harenis. The aestus, it literally heat, but here I would say the surge of the waters. You know, it's kind of like the water's getting all frothy, okay, and so it's kind of like it's boiling, you know, because it's all foamy. So I guess you could say the surge or the heat, furit, like from fury, I mean, where we get fury from, boils or rages. Furit harenis. Harenis is an ablative. Where does it rage? It rage in harenis, on the sand. Okay, the sand at the bottom of the sea. And you got the foam. There it goes. Okay. Imagine this. You know, you got a huge wave with these guys up at the top of it. Ooh, and there's a guy up here looking down, and then the waves are so big that they actually, you know, you can see the bottom of the sea down here. Okay, this is like the normal height, and this is the bottom of the sea, and the sand down there, it's boiling because there's so much commotion going on. Okay, hyperbolic to the max. Keep going here. Tres notus abreptas in saxa latentia torquet, saxa vocantitali mediis quae in fluctibus aras, dorsum imane mari sumo. Okay, so we're going to continue here, and the subject is the notus, which is that south wind. The notus, torquet, turns. Think of the English word torque, right? Turns. Trace. And you got to put in naves here. Trace naves. Okay? Trace naves. Abreptas. Smashed. Okay? Onto in saxa latentia, or snatched, I guess you could say. Let's do that again. The south wind turns 3 ships snatched onto hiding rocks. Okay, those two words go together there. In hiding rocks, onto hiding rocks. They're accusative, so we know it's onto the hiding rocks. Okay, let me try to illustrate this. It's kind of like you got the waves here, and you think everything's great on the surface, but no, underneath there's this big rock that comes right up to the surface. So if you were a boat and you were sailing along, that's the sail, that's your boat, okay, then you could, hit this thing, okay, and that would be really bad. You would shipwreck for sure, okay? So they're getting smashed on these rocks, these three ships. Saxa Wokant, Italy. The Italian, now there's a little parenthetical thing here, to describe these rocks, these guys right here. The Italians, Wokant, call these rocks, and that's plural, neuter plural, which, and that goes with the rocks, okay, the which points back to the rocks, which are, you got to put sunt in here, in the middle of the waves. Those are ablatives, in the middle of the waves, okay. They call them, dun dun dun, the aras, the altars. Because it's like the ships get sacrificed on them, I guess. Dorsum imane, oh, we're not done describing this, sorry. Dorsum imane marisumo. A dorsum imane. Now this is an apposition, meaning to aras, okay? It goes along with aras. A huge, imane is huge, back. A dorsum, think of a dorsal fins on the back. Marisumo. And that's ablative, in the highest point of the sea, right up here, okay? Highest point of the sea. In marisumo, we got to put it in there. Okay, so let's recap there. The south wind turns three ships snatched up onto hiding rocks. Dun dun dun! The Italians call these rocks, which are in the middle of the waves, the altars, a huge back in the highest point of the sea. Bum, 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 bum. Pretty dramatic. I was trying my best there. Okay, tres iurus ab alto in brevet surtis urget, miserabile visu in leditque vadis at quagere cinget harenae. Okay, we have more destruction. The Eurus, I think that's the west wind. No, east wind? Yeah, east wind. The Eurus, what does it do? It drives urget, maybe urges, I guess comes from that. Drives trace again naves. This trace goes with here, naves. Three ships, doesn't actually say, just says three. The Eurus drives three ships ab alto, from the deep. Remember, alto is another way we can say ab mare, from the sea. Okay, and that's an ablative, away from, direction away from. And it drives them from the deep, well, where to? In brevia. Et surtes, into the brevia, the short places, meaning where it's not deep water, and the shoals. Okay, and that's not good to get there because then your ship's also going to wreck, just like they'd wreck on these big rocks called the altars. They're also going to wreck if they get next to the shore, and they're not anchored out in deep sea. So smash on the shore. And this is miserabile visu. You want to treat this as its own little thing here. This is what we call the supine, and these little sayings you should learn to memorize, like mirabile dictu, wonderful to say, miserabile visu, miserable to see. Okay, just translate it as to see, as visu, comes from video. Okay. Okay, so again, the east wind, I believe it's the east. The east wind urges another three ships from the deep to the shallow and the shoals, the shallows and the shoals, the sandbars. Miserable to see. And in leditque vadis. lidit, the Eurus is still the subject. It dashes these trace naves again, right? These trace naves, still talking about them. They're our object. Wadis, and the wadis is another word for shoals, and it's dative here because in lidit takes dative. So dashes them on the shoals. You got several words here that all mean, you know, the shallow places of the sea, the shoals or the sandbars, and wadis. All these words mean the same thing. And at quagere kingit harenai. And this Eurus does one last thing, horrible thing to these three ships. It kingit, it surrounds them from kingo with agere, ablative. Where's my blue? With a mountain. Harinai. Where's my purple? Oh, my daughter's gonna go. With a mountain of sand. Okay, so with a mountain of sand. So one more time that part. The Eurus urges, or drives these three other ships from the deep into the shallows and the sandbars, the shoals, miserable to see, and it smashes them on the shallow places and surrounds them with a mountain of sand. So, it takes these boats, whammo, puts them on there, and then whoosh, the sand gets all around them, and those ships are done. They're out of the race. Okay, that's it, and we'll continue in the next set.